Word up.
Alright, yo. It's Kurante Best, aka the Lace Lord, and this is.
Yo, it's LZ, DJ Zester, aka the Real from the Ville.
And this is S.O.L.E Fever podcast.
Word up. Welcome out to S.O.L.E Fever. We're filling in today for Kmak. I guess the substitute teachers for today, so we're gonna do it a little different.
And I ain't no substitute teacher. I'm a teacher, man.
You're a real teacher. Real teacher. Well, I'm just saying
teacher.
as far as covering the bases, but yeah, man. So
no, I was just playing with you.
yeah, let's get into it, man. Welcome everybody listening out there, out in Instagram world or wherever you're checking this podcast out at.
Oh yeah. So it was something that Kmak wanted us to talk about.
Oh yeah,
Not that it was important.
He
or
sent this
anything,
post
but,
out, though, man. Something about some what is this, a master
like
class?
wear some shoes and start twerking.
Yeah, okay, all right, here it goes. It says, want to know how to make your brand stick and make your target audience support? This workshop was designed for you. I am bringing some of my mentors in to discuss proven methods for success. Stay tuned. That was from Kmak, and we got his post out of the way. That was it. So he's going to have a master class coming up. I guess you could contact him or whatever about all that. And
it's twerk classes and all of that. You know,
wham.
Just get your women together. And I mean, it doesn't have to be women, I guess, but
word up.
That's what floats your boat.
Yeah,
but,
man.
I guess the gist of today, the subject would be passion. Passion meaning, what drives you to do what you do daily.
Word up, man. Like, the fever.
Yeah, the fever.
The fever. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What says, man, you know what? This is what I want to do.
What's your temperature?
What I want to do with the rest of my life. So,
right.
Yeah, man. So you're in the sneakers, right? You got a Revamp 2.6.
Yeah, Revamp 2.6. Pretty much, it's online business, but at the same time, it's like a project, or I would like to call it a project. It's a brand, of course, but it's just a daily project based off sneakers.
Yeah, I noticed your posts. You have a lot of like graphics in them and music. You know what I mean? And you really are hype about like sneakers.
Yeah, the era, and I kind of draw in the 90s because I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s, and I guess I would call that, what most people would call that, the golden age of the sneaker culture. And of course with that, is hip hop, golden age of hip hop. I mean, that's subjective, but I think it is.
Well, yeah, sneakers always has been like a thing in hip hop where it's a status symbol. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was kind of like, a fresh pair would get you clout.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you're in a position where you're seen daily, whether it be in a classroom or doing an event, you're DJing, or you're a sports star, if people notice how you present yourself, and sneakers, I guess in hip hop is a big holder of our identity, man. It really is. Yeah, it's a real big. I mean, a lot of people get upset about it too. They're like, man, you shouldn't be so into sneakers like that, or sneakers is not really that important. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing about Revamp 2.6 as well, because I remember those days when, because I've always been a sneakerhead, thanks to my mother, but I remember it was certain days where, well, not certain days, but it was a time when, having a lot of sneakers, it was just like, people acted like you were sick or something. Like,
yeah.
Like, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you? Shout out to my man Dave Bears, man. You know who he is. He got crazy sneakers. But I came in his crib the other day, right? Mm-hmm. In his living room.
Yeah.
His living room now, not his bedroom, not his living room literally looks like a warehouse, man. It's like just like you can't get around the sneakers. They're stacked from the bottom. You know what I mean? It's just over 200 pairs just in his living room. He was actually trying to move and make a sneaker room, but it's just like, I mean, I commend him. I'm like, that's what's up, man. I'm glad you got these sneakers because I could borrow them from you.
Right.
But I can't. He don't live about. So,
and that's crazy because it's like, growing up, of course, I had a lot of sneakers, but like after a while, especially as I get older, like you just start letting things go. Because people forget that, when you start collecting these sneakers, you can only wear one pair a day, but it's not I'm not trying to say it's not good to have a good collection, but when you get to the point where it's going 4 or 5 years without wearing that sneaker, you're actually hurting that sneaker
Yeah.
more than more
That's
than
true.
helping it.
That, like when it's stored, right, and like the foam and stuff in the sneaker gets
Yeah.
worn down
The
or
glue.
whatever. The glue.
Yeah.
If you're not exercising it,
Right.
yeah, you're
It's
losing
over
the
for
value. You throw it on and it just crumbles.
Exactly. So you might as well just let them go to a happy home,
Yeah,
But,
man. Somebody you could wear them.
Exactly.
Man.
But yeah, I had to wind that down, as far as my collection. Like over the years, I've been wearing the same size since like 6th grade. So
Yeah.
like it's just.
So you still got shoes from 6th grade?
I have a couple. I can't lie. I have a couple.
You holding on to a couple of them
Yeah.
classics there. I feel you.
I just wear them just enough so that the glue will separate.
I'm the same way with my vinyl, man. Like
Uh-huh.
my wife, she is like, yo, this takes up too much space in the house. It's like, you need to curve back. Some of these records you don't need, and I'm like, I need them all.
I feel you. Because like I put it like this, I thank God every day for an iPod. Because Lord, before the iPod,
CD
I was
books.
running around with CD books.
The CD books.
Almost crashing, switching CDs.
Yo, man, I love the CD book, man. I wouldn't be found without a Discman.
Right,
I always
right.
see you with a Discman back in the day. Before then, cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Revamp 26 though. Like, what was the initial phases of getting started in that? Like, how did you have to turn it into a business? What did you have to do?
Well, pretty much I was leaving the old business, and I just, just wanted to just revamp things because it seems like everything is watered down, and pun intended on that. I wanted to revamp things because it seems like now, just like I was talking earlier about, how people would think I'm crazy for, having a certain amount of sneakers. Now it's so normalized that people are getting sneakers that don't even want them.
Yeah,
like they're just out there because it's Saturday.
It's that hype beast culture.
Exactly.
It's like it's something to do, but they don't really have a connection to it. That feeling,
right?
That love for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what, I could buy this and flip it. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to be a sneaker flipper too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that ruins it for the people that actually want to wear them and you know what I'm saying? And like. And, you know what I mean? Enjoy them.
I'm not against flipping or making having business, but at the same time, if it's too many people doing it, it's not for the right thing. You're just in the damn way.
Yeah.
You're in the damn way.
Get out the way. Let the real connoisseurs handle this.
Exactly.
I feel you, man.
It's my line name too.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So that's what's up, man.
But yeah, Revamp 26, man, it's pretty much just, my vision. Like I say, day to day, it's a brand, but at the same time, it's my project. I just want to offer my business, my expertise to different people. And we got a little commotion going on outside.
Yeah, what's that weird?
I got those windows open. Hold on, I'll close.
All right.
It gets hot in here.
But yeah, through Revamp 26, of course I sell, I buy 100%, 126% authentic, new sneakers.
No fakes.
And I'm not talking about when I say used, I mean 9 out of 10. Like I'm not trying to sell no beat sneakers or whatnot. But I know 9 out of 10 is relative. But if your 9 out of 10 don't match to my 9 out of 10, then we'll have a good little discussion. But
Got you. So where can people reach you to get these sneakers, man? You know what I'm saying? How do they connect with the plug, man?
Well, pretty much it's revamp26.com. On Instagram, it's at revamp26. It's just how we're going. My personal page is lace.lord on Instagram.
All right.
And it's just
there's no X's in the vowels, is it?
No.
It's just Lace Lord.
It's lace.lord. Lace period Lord.
Lace period Lord. That's what's up, man. So yeah, and his Instagram is Flames, Fuego. All the new joints be up there. So check them out on Instagram. Check them out. Revamp26.com. Revamp26 on Twitter, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, Kurante Best, Lace Lord.
Yes, sir. So
what up, man? So
talking about passion, man. Let's go into the DJ, man. DJ Zester.
DJ Zester, me. Okay, yeah, man. Passion for music, man. It always starts off with music. Growing up in a musical household, Not that anybody played music, but it was just very consumed. Like my dad would listen to blues, he would listen to like B.B. King,
Right.
Bobby Blue Bland, and he would listen to it on his own. Like he would listen to it kind of like secluded in the back room. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my mom, get this, she listened to country and western music. That's it. That's like,
That's dope though.
but she came up in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my mom is 71 years old. You know what I mean? So back then, they didn't have black radio stations in the area. All that they heard on the radio was country music. So she, you know, grew up and had affinity for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like
right.
I grew up listening to like Tammy Wynette and Conway Twitty and just like, you know, Reba McEntire, you know what I'm saying, Dolly Parton, all of them. That's been in my lexicon, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like coming from there and then going all the way to hip hop, like I'll kind of like listen to everything and you know just all the music that I love from my childhood. I keep it in my heart and I keep it like in rotation. So like 80s new wave, MTV, early BT 90s. You know what I'm saying? All of that TV music. You know, I watched mad videos growing up.
Yeah.
That's probably what
Me too.
That's what I did most of my time was into like learning about music or learning about different groups and stuff.
Music kind of tied me into well, I ain't gonna say tied me into sneakers, but it kind of like elevated it too. Because I'm from a small town, so like those videos was like my escapism.
Yeah.
You know, listening to certain albums was escapism.
Yeah,
so,
and it's funny too because you can kind of like name certain sneakers for certain times and eras.
Right.
Like I'm older than you. I'm gonna be 40 this year. I'm 39, right?
Okay.
All right. The year 1988, right? That's the year the Jordan 3 came out.
Right.
The Kid and Play 2 Hype album cover.
Yep. When they're in front
Cement
of
threes, right?
bands.
Okay. Big Daddy Kane, the Long Live the Kane album cover. He got the white threes on the back.
Okay.
Easy E. 3 times dope. They got all 3 of them on the back. They got the fire red joints, the all white joints, and the black ones. So like the Jordan 3s are synonymous with Yo MTV Raps because it came out the same year, 88. And so yeah, 88 is like the era where hip hop finally goes commercial, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like once it hit MTV and everybody's got to get it on the goods, all the people that made it to that level went platinum that year was, everybody that was there. And it's weird because like nowadays you have so many different genres of hip hop.
Right.
You got trap, you got the fundamentalists with the boom bap, you got
the mumble.
you got a lot of different vibes. You got sad rap now, you know what I'm saying, like the emo style.
Yeah,
but back then,
X.
and in each one of those styles, they have their own world now. You know what I mean? Like the people in the trap world don't really mess with the people. You know what I mean? In the fundamentalist world, but back then. It was all together. Like you had the gangsters on tour with De La. You know what I'm saying? You had Too Short, NWA, Nina Cherry, and Biz Markie on the same tour. You know what I mean?
So as a DJ, do you think it's doper? As far as back in the day when everybody was together, or do you think it's dope at this point where things are kind of separate but together?
Man, I love it now because the technology has made it so it's killed a lot of barriers for artists, man. You know what I mean? Like back then, you had gatekeepers. You had people that could say whether you get on or not, or this song is hot.
Oh,
and
you
a lot of
no
time,
rounds, bro.
And a lot of time the gatekeepers was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll say something that's dope that wasn't. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But it'll be on the radio 100 times a day, and it's dope because it's brainwashed into you, but it's not really dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like now, the people really determine what's hot. Because there's no way you can deny the numbers. There's no way you can deny the streams. There's no way you can deny the Twitter followers or the Instagram. You know what I mean? So if you built this following up on your own, the gatekeepers can't say, yo, you can't get in because you don't need them now.
Especially as much as they try, but still, they still have that following. And I actually think it's dope now, the fact that it gives a lot more people opportunity to perfect their craft and find that following that or do music geared towards a certain demographic. You know.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want now. You can really do whatever you want, and it's I think what shows and proves are the artists that are working harder, the ones that are actually recording every day, following up on trends, not sticking with trends, but just in the exercise of doing the music for the love of it, and not like I want to get I want to get paid though. A lot of people be like, I just want to be on, and you know what I'm saying.
They're not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have some quality product to be on, first off. You got to have some good work. And the only way you're going to have good work is if you put the work and time and effort into creating and cultivating good work. It's not a microwave thing, man. Music, art, whatever you do, it takes time, hard work, effort, energy, you know what I mean? It doesn't pop overnight for anybody. Right. Sometimes it does, but as soon as you get it, you could lose it.
Yeah,
so
it's exactly that. You can have that one song that's popping in about 2 weeks, and then drop the video.
And Ice Cube said it best, man. Ice Cube on True to the Game, he said on your MTV Raps with a bug in your ear, he said they'll have a new nigga next year. And they always do. There's always a one-hit wonder cat that come out with the smash. I'll just go over the lineage for the past like 5 years. You have Bobby Shmurda,
I don't think
Trinidad Games.
I mess with Trinidad.
I mean, I like his records. I like his mixtapes, but he had that one smash. Yeah. And then it was like, all the other stuff could never bubble up to where it was that smash.
True.
Or, man, every year there's like one like a one-hit wonder. And there's one-hit wonders throughout the history of music, too. Oh, yeah. So it's not like this is new just to hip-hop. It's like Cole was saying on that record, on the new album, on the last, what's it, 1980, 85?
Yeah.
He was kind of like saying, it could be a flash in the pan, you know what I mean, if you don't take this opportunity and do, and use it right, you know what I mean, or make good decisions with the power that you're given, you know what I mean. So I see that. I sit back. I've observed that over time, because like with a DJ, you always have to be looking at all music, because you gotta serve all people. You might do like last night I did a wedding in Fairmount, and you can read the crowd. It's an older crowd, so you don't want to make anybody feel embarrassed or make anybody feel like they're not a part of the family. So you want to kind of like play directed to the whole family. So you got to play something for mom, but you got to play something for the kids too. You know what I mean?
And have those, few artists that kind of bridge those gaps.
Yeah, like Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
Bruno Mars, everybody love him, from old to the young. Or, I don't know. Right? That's the only one I can ring off a bell right now that a DJ can spin and be okay with anywhere. Right. You know what I mean?
And I feel like being an entrepreneur, that's one of the key things in, when you serving the people, like, you got to take yourself out of it. Like, because the fact that, everybody know I deal with shoes, but I can't just get shoes that I like or talk about shoes that I just like. I have to, cater to everyone or have some products for everyone.
It's about the customer first.
Exactly.
It's about the customer first. Yeah. So, man, you can't just do what you like.
Right.
Regardless of what Humpty Hump and Shock G say, you can't just do what you like.
Right.
You gotta do, you do what you like, but do what you like and listen to the people.
Exactly.
Listen to the people.
Exactly. You can't be boxed in or.
So, did you hear that new Kanye record?
Yeah.
The Ye versus the people?
I knew that was coming. Like, when I saw him wearing the Make America Great Again hat, I knew it was bigger than just that.
Man,
I
knew
that he knew that he was going to bring.
Kanye is such an agitator, man. He does shit because he wants us to be, you know what I'm saying? He wants us to argue about it, or he's going to bring up some controversy, so it'll foster the conversation.
Right.
Yeah. And I was listening to the record, and he was talking about, wearing a MAGA hat, and it's showing him having empathy and it being an equalizer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can get where he's saying from a standpoint, but at the same time, where T.I. was coming from was like, yo, you can't just align with everything. You can't just you know what I mean? You can't just play with everything for a personal gain. Some stuff isn't to be played with.
And I think it's dope that he brought T.I. on the song, because I feel like if he was doing like let's say the regular Ye voice, then he did like a Kendrick thing.
By himself.
It probably would have been a little boring.
I think it was an actual, like, yo, Tip or Ye called each other and was like, listen, man, we got a battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was it. It was like, maybe they set the track. I don't know how it came together, man, but it sounded authentic. It sounded like both of them were speaking exactly what they were thinking, you know what I mean? As far as and Kanye made some valid points, man. It's okay for black people to be Republicans.
Right.
It's not. That's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is fostering some sort of communication where we're not just so polarized on our side that we're not thinking about. We're all humans in this.
Yeah.
There's some empathy there, even for, let's say, a Trump voter. You know what I'm saying? Most Trump voters, I'm not gonna. I feel like they knew what they was getting into. They knew that this motherfucker was a pussy grabber. And you know what I'm saying? Like, with all of the negative shit that came out, they said, fuck it, I don't care, I'm voting for him anyway.
He's a billionaire playboy. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Exactly. So
everybody knew.
Everybody knew. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a surprise. So
But that's also why he won't get in trouble over some dumb shit.
Yeah. But
because he's like, you voted for me. You knew that I was sleeping with porn stars.
Yeah.
I'm a billionaire.
Right.
Yeah, but this is the
with
problem.
A beat. A billionaire. He did whatever the fuck he wanted, man. Everybody knew that beforehand. Find me one billionaire that doesn't sleep with porn stars.
I don't
Can't
know.
do it.
Well, the thing is, though, most billionaires are wise enough to keep their shit private, though. Like, you know what? I'm a billionaire.
He
Nobody
never
can
even
touch
knew
me.
about it, though, right?
Nobody can see me.
Isn't that why they raided his lawyer's office? Because his lawyer was taking care of business for him.
Yeah.
He never even knew that anybody was going to extort him. If he knew that would have happened, he'd have probably been like, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let me tweet about this bitch before this comes out type of thing. You
just
know
like
what I
that.
mean?
Like,
people hate
straight like that.
Shit on straight.
I mean, who knows what's going on in Donald Trump's head, man? Nobody knows, man.
That dude's probably crazy as hell. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, he's fucking nuts, though, man. You know what I mean? You gotta say that. Like, there's you gotta think, like, who else could get away with the shit that he's gotten away with over all this time? All of the fucking businesses that's gone belly up, all the contractors that he hasn't paid for their work. You know what I mean? Like, all of that shit, it adds up. And another thing is it's the face of America. It's like it's all these ideas that we espouse to be what we want to be. You know what I'm saying? And we motherfucking elect the exact opposite of that. You know what I mean? The ideas that we espouse that we want to be is like truthful, just justice, equality for all of those ideas. But you know what I mean? For some reason, that's not what we voted for. Well, I didn't vote for, but
yeah. I'm
just saying, like, Americans as a whole, if we put all of us in the pot together, what was the reasoning behind it? I mean, yeah. Just like Dave Chappelle said, he was like, you know, Hillary Clinton karate sweep Bernie Sanders' legs from under him and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Bernie Sanders, I think, would have been my pick. But at the same time, all the people in government at some point is going to be self-interested at some point. You can't have like an altruistic politician. There's no reason to be a politician if you're just doing it for the people. I mean, that's supposedly the reason. But everybody knows that's bullshit. Everybody knows that's bullshit.
All day. And bringing back to what you said, man, I think that's the problem I have with Trump being the president. You know, it's just, you know, that's the face of the U.S.
That's what's representing us now, yeah.
And I mean, I'm all about, you know, free thinking and all of that, and, you know what I'm saying, doing what you want, but at the same time, man, like, when you in that position and it's bigger than you, you know, I think you need to kind of, you know, hold back a little bit, you know, especially when you're looking at other countries and they're looking at him as the face of the U.S.
What I look at.
I kind of like it sometimes.
I don't get about it, man.
Yeah, dude, because it's kind of like a fuck you type of thing. I look at Trump as like the people actually doing some shit about something. It's like there's a lot of people that weren't Republicans that voted for Trump because Trump is just something different. Like, that's one of the things, like, with the thing with Kanye. It's like one of the things he talked about was like, yeah, I supported Obama, but motherfuckers are still dying in Chicago.
Yeah.
That rate keeps growing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't give a shit who fixes it as long as somebody's willing to talk about it and fix it. And that's one of the things that Trump talks about the most is like gun violence in Chicago and shit like that, like the murder rate and all that kind of stuff. And like, not saying that he's fixed anything, but like, are you going to give him a chance to fix anything? You know, like,
I don't know.
A lot
man.
of people voted for him just to be like, fuck you to the system. You know, like, give me something different.
But here's the problem, though, is every 4 years we get to switch back and forth and nothing happens, whether it be a Republican or a Democrat. I mean...
Can't say that.
Well, the ideas that
My
are
insurance
exposed...
costs a fuck ton of money because of Obamacare. You can't say nothing changes.
I mean, both sides, though. Like, all the money that's spent now on this new budget, you know, where all these... tax benefits go to corporations that don't go to like the system, like don't build schools, that don't build roads, that don't go into our healthcare system, that don't all of the money that's saving the high end corporate class, that they're saving, that they're either buying back in stock buybacks for their corporations, or they're taking the money and just hoarding it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with being rich, but hoarding it when there's you know, if you're American, the roads that you drive on are just as important, you know what I'm saying, as everybody's input on that is it should be the same or should be equal. Everybody should have an equal burden as far as taxes. If I only make $100 a month, not that I don't only make $100 a month, but I'm just saying, if I only make $100 a month and my taxes would be like 10% of that.
You're just talking about flat tax.
A flat tax would be cool.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool. If everybody paid the same amount, that would be cool. The only problem
Everybody
is that you have to look at
you pay the same.
you have to look at the people that don't have anything though. What are they going to pay if they don't own any property? If they don't have any way, they're already not paying taxes and they're getting, you know what I'm saying, like, but they're paying life taxes. They're not paying actual taxes. But everything in their world costs more because they don't have any money to like to buffer it out.
Welfare and taxes are two completely different conversations.
But let's talk about these sneaker releases that came out.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
we went off a cliff. It's all good though, but
I don't really like talking the politic thing. You know, it's all
it's stressful, huh?
Yeah, it's
stressful because shit change.
Yeah, it's just
You know?
it's just That's however you spell that.
I mean, but dialogue is good though, man.
Yeah,
It's best to talk about the shit and actually see people's, you know, ideas or see how, because we're not different. We're not that far off in thought. Most people are good people.
Yeah.
They want their kids to grow up and have what they need, and you know, they want their kids to do better than them, and they want to leave the world a better place than what they inherited. Mm-hmm. So I think that's across the board for everybody. I think everybody just finds different ways to get into it, or different types of lifestyles. Man.
Yeah.
So everybody's entitled to their own lifestyle, man. I'm not one to say, you know, you're supposed to live your life XYZ, or this path is right or this path is wrong.
Right.
Because everybody's path is different. It's a million variables that make up one human being, man. Everything that you go through in your life makes up who you are. So there's nobody's place to tell you what's right or what's wrong.
And that's why I kind of walk light when I talk about Kanye. You know, he's not, you know, college dropout Kanye. He's a millionaire now, you know, so he's gonna have different. He's in different circles now. Man, so
I love Kanye, man, for being
who he is.
For being who he is. If you can't take away all of the art and stuff that he's put out in the past, it's always been controversial. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and just because he wore a MAGA hat, I'm gonna stop listening to College Dropout.
That's crazy.
No,
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
I'm gonna fuck with Kanye to the end. I'm always been a fan. So regardless of what his stance is, unless he goes out and starts drugging and raping bitches, that'll be a problem.
Oh yeah.
How is that affiliated?
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. Oh, that's the Cosby shit, though, man. You want to talk about Cos?
No,
You don't even want to talk about Cos?
Well, you know.
Yo, I mean, everybody has an opinion, bro. You can have an opinion. It's okay, bro.
Man, you know, yeah. No, I don't think I want to talk about it.
You want to talk about Cos?
But
I want to talk
it,
about
you know,
it, man.
it
I want to say that it's fucked up that, yeah.
He's 80-something years old now.
He's going to prison. Or is he going to prison? I don't know if he's going to prison.
He was found
Probably
guilty.
He was found guilty, though.
But
It'd be a cupcake one if it is.
So-
You probably still have HBO and shit.
Man,
Somebody bringing him cupcakes.
a light prison. He's going to a light prison.
Yeah,
Right.
The same one Martha Stewart went to. type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But yeah, okay. On racism though, do you think racism had anything to do with that conviction?
Well, him trying to, do the NBC thing, it's crazy how that came about right after that. I mean, the timing is crazy, but
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of touchy because I don't.
We all agree that women should not be drugged and raped, right?
Right.
All right, I'm just saying, man. That's the simple part of it, man.
Yeah.
All right, but okay, all right. Let's get off
I
Kos.
hope
Let's get off
he
Kos.
did.
Let's
I
throw
hope he
Kos.
did.
Kos is in prison. He's cool. He's chilling. We don't have to talk about that
Yeah,
too much.
yeah.
But how about North Korea? What you think about that? About North Korea ending their war?
I mean, I don't know nothing about that.
You don't know nothing about North Korea?
I'm trying to
You know about Kim Jong-il and missiles and shit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, let's try to get into the sneakers, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the sneakers, man. Lace Lord. What sneakers is popping right now?
Last week's or this past weekend's releases, like, what do you think?
What came out?
Is that the Cool Gray Lows came out?
Nope. I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck
Yeah, that's a no for me too.
I don't fuck with low 11s. I don't fuck with low 11s. No.
I kind of lost the love for 11s, period.
They
But
really
except
did,
for the
man.
brand-
You know what happened
yeah.
with the 11s?
They started
Every
whoring them out.
Christmas, it was the damn Christmas Eve sneaker for like 5 years, man.
No, more than that, probably.
Oh man, like the Gamma Blues, trash. What's the other one that came out that was just trash? I didn't even like the red joints, the Santa Claus patent leather joints.
I like those.
What was those called?
But Win like.
Win like 20. What was it? 96. Win like 96.
Yeah, Win like 96.
I ain't fuck with
But
those.
I like those. I was a late bloomer with them. Like when I saw somebody actually rocking them right, I was like, okay. I like red anyway, but.
What were
I
the
was
blue
still sleeping on
Concords, the navy blue joints? I kind of like those.
Oh, they win like 82s.
I like that Win
Yeah.
like 82s,
Yeah,
man.
they were cool.
The navy blue was different, but.
Yeah, but
11s though, yeah, they're outdoing them shits. There's like maybe 20 pair of 11s now. There's so many of them.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're bringing the old shape back in the chalk line. Well, I call it the chalk line, like where the patent leather is. It's white around the edge. Like I like that last Space Jam. I can't lie.
Yeah, man.
I like that one. But
The Space Jam has always been a clean sneaker though, man.
for sure.
With the clear bottom,
Uh-huh.
and purple accents. Oh man, those shits is fly. I like the Space Jams, man.
But yeah, those low, cool grays, nah, bro.
Yeah, I fuck with the SBs, man. That's my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the Nike SBs, but they stopped really making the puffy joints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like trimmed them down and made them like thin around the back.
I kind of like that version a little more.
I mean, I buy both of them because I like the silhouette. You know what I mean? I like I like the cut, but the puffy just is comfortable to me, man. It feels better to me. You know what I mean? I like those. But they dropped a pair called the White Widow. I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mint green with like a red check. You seen those?
Yeah, I seen those. Okay,
I like those, man.
Yeah,
I like the material on it. It was like real fuzzy, like.
Yeah.
Those and those the ones I was just showing you, the black marble leather joint. What's they called? Let me bring them up right quick.
Did they have a nickname too?
It's a Brian Anderson sneaker though. He's a
Okay.
skater from forgot what the name of his skate company is, but I like those, man. I always like the SBs because I guess at the time, maybe like 2008, 2009, they were doing a lot of like theme joints.
That's what drew me into
The
that
themes
little era right there.
and all of the themes I connected with because they were like connected to my childhood.
Right.
Like They did the Dr. Feelgood. You remember those?
Yeah.
That's a Motley Crue album cover. But
Uh-huh.
they did the Appetite for Destruction, the
I
Guns
like
N'
the
Roses
Uncles.
joint, and the Miss Pac-Mans or the Homer Simpsons.
It's funny you talk about SBs, like, because one that's on, damn, it's like crazy.
What?
But I want the Hustable sweaters.
Oh yeah, those are my favorite joints, man.
Like, that's a
right there in Kaz, huh? Yeah.
I still want the Hustable sweaters. I don't care, what it does. But
Yeah, man, the Hustables was ill when I first saw those. I was like, must have.
yeah, I gotta have those, bro.
Yeah, I think they go for like $4 now. New dead stock, man, about 400.
Yeah, I'm
Man.
trying to get them for a little bit under that.
Yeah.
I can't lie, but it is what it is. I still want those though. But as far as SBs, I always like SBs. I like the whole family, really, like the Air. I mean, I call them family anyway. The Jordan one, the Air Force one, the SB. It's a few.
They all have that same like cut though,
Yeah.
with the toe box
Exactly.
and the Jordan
little
ones.
holes on the top.
Yeah, man, the little hole on the front. Yeah, man, they all do have that same. And the Air Force Ones. Matter of fact, them Easter joints, did they ever drop, man? The new Easter eggs.
The suede ones.
The suede ones, but they like box. They cut like box. I love, man.
I didn't see them.
You haven't seen them?
I've seen them, but I haven't
seen them available. Yeah,
available. Yeah.
Because I have both of the old pair. I have both of the Air Force One Easter eggs, man.
And they redropped like 17 too. Well, one color.
Well, the first pair I think they redropped, but the one pair is like pink
with the yellow.
and yellow, and the other one is green and like purple.
Like pastel blue.
Pastels, but man, shoot, I had like the pastel polos, man.
Yeah, those were hard.
Those was my joints, man, because they loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not.
They loud, but not like.
But they subtle.
Exactly.
They loud,
At the
but they
same time.
pastels, though. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah, those are my shits, man. I love them sneakers.
Yeah,
Those.
just like your SB is your favorite. Like I think Jordan 1s is my favorite, man.
Okay.
Like Jordan 1s is my favorite.
Jordan ones is cool, man, because they have like this solid look to them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
SB Dunks.
Yeah.
That's a rip of a Jordan 1.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like the Dunks. The Dunks were basketball sneakers first, and they were like the cheap version of the Jordan. It's like if you couldn't get the Jordan, you got the Dunk. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they had
Which was the exact same shoe, just a different stamp, like on the top.
Well, no, it's cut a little
right?
different too.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Jordan 1 is a little slimmer, more sleek.
Yeah.
And like the swoosh on the side goes all the way around the back. On these, the swoosh goes around the back, but they get caught like under the lip there.
Yeah.
The Jordan one has a little tab right there in the back.
Mm.
I love the Jordan ones though, man. The Jordan ones are nice, especially the breads, man. The breads are
The
so
bread
clean.
is my top, like,
They are so
favorite
clean,
sneaker
yo.
all time. But he knows that.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
man.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have the off-white ones.
Why you remind me, man?
I'm sorry. I just figured you would have them.
Didn't they do a new pair of off-whites too?
Yeah, the
I just
all-white
want
ones.
the
all-white
first
ones,
one,
right?
the red one,
Yeah.
the Chicago
Yeah.
color.
The all-white ones are pretty too, though.
Yeah, they're dope, but
Yeah, they should
Those
do like a
Chicago ones,
royal
though.
joint, man. They should do like the blue joints too.
they should
That
do
would
some
be
bread
good.
ones, like just bread,
Yeah.
the off whites. Yeah.
What do you think about customs?
I rock with customs, as long as they're well done.
Yeah, you got a lot of variances with
Yeah,
customs.
yeah,
There's a lot of
it's-
ups and downs.
Yeah.
So you might have a cheap custom versus a good custom.
Right.
You know what looked like a cheap custom to me?
What's
was
that?
the Supreme Air Force One NBA joints, man.
It did.
It was
I
just
can't lie.
like
I love Supreme. I love Air Force Ones.
Yo, those just look like a cheap custom to me.
I just
yo.
fell back in love with the mid Air Force Ones, but it's like those Supremes, man.
Yeah, those NBA ones was kind of weird, man. I like the jewel bubble Air Force One mids,
Yeah.
man. You remember those? They came out in '98, I think.
No,
first time.
it was like, matter of fact, I know because I still got one pair from middle school, the navy blue with the
orange
with
joint?
the orange.
That
I
was
still
so
have
hot
that.
at the time, though.
And they came out a couple times, like, in the past years, but they just didn't, like, what's different from the OG is, like, on the strap.
Mhm.
it has the bubble check too.
Oh, okay.
Where the bubble with the orange.
It was stitched on the other one.
Yeah.
It was like an embroidery on the other
Right,
one.
right.
Yeah, man. I had those pair, the navy blue with the orange jewel, and I had the black with the red orange jewel.
Sheesh.
Man. Those were hot, man.
Damn, I forgot about those. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, man. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a story about those sneakers, man. I went to Freaknik in '98, right?
Man, get out of here.
Yes.
You,
Me and my
you gotta
man
leave,
Zeph
bro.
Lessons. He I don't know if you know Zeph, but he's I guess a local MC rapper. He put out an album a couple years ago, or whatever. But we went down there to promote Beggar By and Elohim Records. We had like T-shirts, and I had like this I had this boombox. It was made by Jeep, you know, like and it was like this yellow boombox with a strap, and we was just walking around passing out tapes and playing and shit out the boombox. And I lose my wallet down there. Like I'm at a stand. I'm at I don't know, we're at like some club, and they have like a food stand outside.
Yeah.
Go to pay for the food and put my wallet up there. Stupid. Turn my head, turn back. I said, gone.
Damn.
Right. And so I'm down there in Atlanta, no money, no ID. Roll with my man Zeph, and had them sneakers.
Yeah.
That was the story. I'm good. It was a good thing I was driving because I got it back home.
Right,
or whatever,
right,
but
right.
I could have been fucked that day. I
Right,
really
for
could've
real,
been
though.
fucked, but yeah, that was
Dang.
great memories, man. Yeah, Freaknik was off the chain though.
Man, I hate you, man. I wish I was grown in the 90s.
Yeah, man, that was off the chain. Like, it was just like wall-to-wall traffic. It had strip clubs. Well, strippers were going in like SUVs and vans, right? Since the car, like, since the traffic was so backed up, like, they would just have people just walking up and down like the streets, and the strippers are in the vans, like, stripping, and they're tipping, like, they're tipping in the van, like throwing money in the back of the doors or throwing money in the windows. Like, it was just crazy, man. It was wild, yo. That shit was something else.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah,
wanna
man.
wrap this thing up?
But I don't know. We at that point yet? I guess not. I don't know what. In an hour? Who knows?
Yeah, I think we gotta call a little hour or whatever.
Yeah, this was a good S.O.L.E Fever episode, I'd say, man. We learned a lot about Revamp 265 by sneakers. We delved a little into politics, a little bit, but you know, politics is a touchy thing, man. I guess.
And yeah, and another thing about Revamp 26, I never plugged this, but I also blog, about different sneakers, and I mean not just new releases, experiences or whatever, and as far as the blog, it's online as well, at revamp26.com. And also, if you use Apple products, you can not log in, but subscribe to the Revamp 26 channel.
Yeah, and it come right up in your news feed.
Right. So every time I drop a blog, they come right to your phone, so.
Word up.
So that's S.O.L.E Fever, and we out.
That's it. S.O.L.E Fever, what's your temperature, right? All right.